There are people we spend a lifetime with, yet we never truly understand them. And then there are people we meet for only a single night who change our lives forever. Elena thought the hardest part of her journey was over. Mark had survived. Their hearts had finally opened. But before the sun rose over the city, she would discover one final truth about the stranger whose wisdom had saved her marriage. It was a truth she would never forget, and perhaps neither will you. After nearly an hour with Mark, a nurse reminded me that he needed to rest. "I'll be right back," I whispered. He smiled. "I'll be here." Those simple words carried a new meaning now, not just physically, emotionally. Our marriage wasn't perfect, but for the first time in years, we were finally in the same place. As I stepped into the hallway, I looked toward the waiting room. Arthur was gone. I smiled to myself. He was probably visiting his wife. Still, I wanted to thank him. No, I needed to thank him. Without that conversation, I might have walked into Mark's room carrying divorce papers in my heart instead of compassion. I searched every corner of the waiting area, the coffee machine, the vending machines, the small hospital chapel, the cafeteria. Nothing. He wasn't there. Finally, I stopped a nurse who had been working throughout the night. "Excuse me?" "Yes." "I'm looking for an elderly man." She smiled politely. "There are quite a few." I laughed softly. "He was sitting with me most of the night. His name is Arthur. His wife, Margaret, was having surgery." The nurse thought for a moment, then recognition appeared on her face. "Oh, Arthur Bennett." "Yes! Do you know where he is?" She smiled warmly. "He left about 20 minutes ago." My shoulders dropped. I wanted to thank him. The nurse looked at me for a long moment. Then she asked, "Did he tell you about Margaret?" She said she'd been married to him for 47 years. The nurse's smile became even gentler. "They've been coming to this hospital for almost 3 years." I frowned. 3 years? She nodded. "Margaret has been fighting a very difficult illness. They've spent more nights in these waiting rooms than I can count." I felt my chest tighten. The nurse continued, "Do you know something remarkable?" I shook my head. "No." No matter how difficult the day has been, no matter how tired he looks, Arthur always notices the person sitting alone. She smiled toward the empty chairs. He buys 2 cups of coffee, one for himself and one for a stranger. I looked at the chair where we had first met. The untouched memories suddenly became clearer. He says, the nurse smiled, that fear becomes lighter when 2 people carry it together. Tears filled my eyes. That sounded exactly like Arthur. The nurse reached into her pocket. "Oh, I almost forgot." She handed me a small folded piece of paper. My hands trembled as I unfolded it. The handwriting was neat and careful. It read, "Dear Elena, if you are reading this, then I believe your husband is awake. That is wonderful news. There is one thing I forgot to tell you. Marriage is not about finding the right person once. It is about choosing the same person again and again, even after life changes both of you. People grow older, dreams change, faces change, but kindness is always a choice. Never stop being curious about the person sitting across the table from you. One day, you will discover someone new inside the person you thought you already knew. Take care of each other. Arthur." By the time I reached the bottom of the letter, I couldn't see the words anymore. My tears had blurred the ink. People often expect miracles to happen overnight. Real life doesn't work that way. Mark didn't leave the hospital and suddenly become the perfect husband. I didn't suddenly become the perfect wife. Healing takes time, just like surgery. The doctors repaired Mark's heart in a few hours. Repairing our marriage took much longer. But this time, we were healing together. Every Friday evening became our no-phone night. No emails, no television, no social media, just dinner, conversation, sometimes laughter, sometimes tears, sometimes silence. But never the lonely silence we once knew. Instead, it became the comfortable silence of two people who no longer needed to pretend. One evening, I surprised Mark with a simple question. "What made you smile today?" He looked at me, then laughed. "You've never asked me that before." "I know." He thought for a moment. "A little girl at work told me my tie looked like blueberry ice cream." I laughed until tears came to my eyes. The next evening, he asked me, "What frightened you today?" No one had asked me that in years. Slowly, very slowly, we became curious about each other again. Not because we were trying to save our marriage, but because we genuinely wanted to know the people we had become. 6 months after the surgery, we returned to the hospital. Not because someone was sick, because we wanted to say thank you. We brought flowers for the nurses, boxes of chocolates for the staff, and 2 cups of coffee. We sat quietly in the same waiting room. Across from us sat a young man, alone. His hands were shaking. He stared at the floor exactly as I once had. Mark looked at me. I looked at him. Neither of us needed to speak. He stood, picked up 1 cup, walked over. "Long night?" The young man nodded. Mark smiled gently. "I thought you looked like someone who shouldn't have to wait alone." I watched from across the room. A smile slowly spread across my face. Arthur's kindness hadn't ended with him. It had simply found new hands. That night taught me something I will carry for the rest of my life. Love doesn't disappear all at once. It fades in the places where curiosity ends, where assumptions replace conversations, where silence replaces honesty, where people stop asking, "How are you?" and begin assuming they already know the answer. Marriage isn't about never changing. It's about allowing each other to change and choosing to keep learning who the other person is becoming. Sometimes, the person you think you've lost is simply waiting for you to ask one more question. As I think back to that cold hospital hallway, I no longer remember the fear first. I remember the coffee, the quiet conversation, the patient wisdom of a man who had spent 47 years loving the same woman, not because she never changed, but because he never stopped discovering her. I walked into that hospital believing my marriage was over. I walked out realizing it wasn't the end. It was our second beginning. And every now and then, when Mark and I sit together over a cup of coffee, one of us smiles and asks, "So, who are you becoming these days?" And somehow, that simple question always leads us back to each other. If this story touched your heart, remember this. The people we love are changing every single day. Don't wait for a hospital. Don't wait for an emergency. Don't wait until silence grows louder than your words. Tonight, ask someone you love one simple question. How are you, really? You might be surprised by the answer. Now we'd love to hear from you. What do you think is the most important quality in a lasting relationship? Love, trust, communication, forgiveness, or something else? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might encourage someone else who needs hope today. If you enjoyed learning English through this emotional story, don't forget to like this video if it touched your heart. Leave a comment with the one lesson you'll remember from today's story. Subscribe for more inspiring B1-B2 English stories that improve your listening, vocabulary, and confidence while touching your heart.
Turn on notifications so you never miss our next story, because sometimes the next story you hear may be the one that changes your life. Until next time, keep learning, keep listening, and never stop believing in the power of kindness.
Here are some useful expressions from the story so far. Waiting room, a place where people wait before seeing a doctor or receiving news. Heartfelt, deeply sincere and full of emotion. Vulnerable, open to emotional or physical hurt. Assume, to believe something without checking if it is true. Compassion, a feeling of caring for someone who is suffering. Exhausted, extremely tired. Heal, to recover physically or emotionally. Curiosity, a desire to learn or know more. Reconnect, to build a relationship again after becoming distant. Second beginning, a fresh start after a difficult experience. Try using these words in your own English conversations this week and next.